The next problem is find the lowest number in an AP such that the sum of all the terms is 105 and the greatest term is 6 times the least. So the lowest term in an AP is asked and the sum is given as 105. So Sn equals 105, which is equal to n by 2 a1 plus an. Let us use this formula. But the given is the last term, the greatest term is 6 times the least. So the least term is a1, therefore an will be equal to 6 times of a1. So now we can apply this in this formula, that Sn equals 105, which is equal to n by 2 and a1 is this plus an is given as 6a1. Let me bring this 2 here, so this becomes 210, which is equal to n into 7a1. Again 7, when you cancel with this is going to be 30, which is equal to a1 into n. So now what is given is 30 is equal to a into n. So this we can have different terms here. So as you know, the product of these two is 30. This 30 can be split as, it can be, we can take this as 6. In that case n will be 5. If you consider this as 5, n will be 6. Or if you consider this as 10, n will be 3. Or if this is 3, this is going to be 10. Or the other way of taking this is 2 and 15 or 15 and 2. So you are seeing that the a1 into n, it is 30. Therefore, you can take the factors of 30 and many values you can arrive. And based on the answer choice given, you can select any one of this. So usually the problem is with the answer choices, so you can just take whichever is available there. This arithmetic progression can be applied even for some interest calculations. For example, we will take one problem here. A sum of money in bank amounts to rupees 1240 in 4 years and rupees 1600 in 10 years at simple interest rate. Find the sum. So simple interest rate, we can see that every year the interest calculation will be same. So it is not going to change. Like in compound interest, you can see that every year the interest rate varies. Interest for interest is also included. But here, interest rate as every year it is same, it is following a arithmetic progression. We can say that the interest for the first year, whatever it is, the principal plus that interest becomes the next year's sum. And again plus the interest, the same interest will be the third year's sum. So and so on. So here, for the fourth year when you had to find out, this is the first sum plus it is going to be after 4 years. So every year it's going to add on that interest. So for the 4 year it's going to be 4 times of that. So therefore it's going to be, the D is going to be 4 here and this is going to be 4D. Similarly, when the second, that's after 10 years, when you're going to see the 10th year is going to be the initial amount plus for the 10 years it is going to be, it's going to be 10D. And this is given as 1240 and this is given as 1600. So when you subtract one from the other one, a1 plus 10D equals 1600, a1 plus 4D equals 1240. When you subtract, you get 6D equals, this 5 minus 2 is 3, 360, or D equals 60. When you substitute this D in one of this equation, so let us take this first one, A1 plus 4 and D is 60 equals 1240, or A1 equals 1240 minus 2 into 60 is 240, or A1 equals 1000. So the sum is nothing but 1000. That's what is the sum. Based on that only the interest is calculated. Therefore 1000 is the sum. Our next problem is find the sum of first 22 terms of an AP whose third term is 19 and seventh term is 43. So here the sum of 22 terms has to be found out, where Sn equals n by 2 a1, or you can consider this second formula 2a1 plus n minus 1d. So we had to find out for the 22nd term, which is equal to 22 by 2, 2a1 plus 21d. So the two things which is not known is a1 and d. So these are the two terms which you have to find out. Given is third term is 19 and seventh term is 43. So third term is a3, which is equal to 19, and that is equal to a1 plus 2d. And seventh term is 43. a7 equals 43, which is equal to a1 plus 60. Subtracting one from other, let us write this one first. a1 plus 6d equals 43, and a1 plus 2d equals 19. So when you subtract, you get 4d, which is equal to, this is 4, 3 minus 24, or d equals 6. So this d we have found out, that is equal to 6. So substitute that d here and find the value of a1. So in this equation, when I substitute this, a3, which is given as 19, which is equal to a1 plus 2 times of d, where d is 6. So 2 into 6 is 12. So this is 19 minus 12, which is equal to a1, that is 7. So a1 is 7. When you substitute that in this formula, S22 equals 22 by 2 is 11, 2 times of a1, which is 7, plus 21 into d is 6. 11, 7 is common in both, so remove the 7 from here. So what balance you have is 2 plus this 7. If you take out, balance is 3. 3 into 6 is 18. So this is 77 into 20. 0. 2 into 7 is 14. 1 balance. 2 into 7 is 14 plus 1, 15. So the answer is 1540. So here 1540 is the answer. Given here is, if 8 times the 8th term of an AP is equal to 12 times the 12th term, then the 20th term of AP is, that is what you have to find out. So we'll write the equation according to what is given here. 8 times the 8th term. So the 8th term, considered as A8, 8 times of this is equal to 12 times the 12th term. So 12 times the 12th term. Or you can also make it simple by saying, so this you can reduce it, like divide both the things by 4. So you'll get 2A8 equals 3A12. So 2 times the 8th term is equal to 3 times the 12th term. And now replace this. What is A8? A8 is equal to A1 plus 7D. Here this is 3 into A12 equals A1 plus 11D. So this is 2A1 plus 14D, which is equal to 3A1 plus 33D. Bring this A1 this side. 2A1 minus 3A1 equals 33D minus 14D. So this is minus A1 equals 33 minus 14 is 3 minus 4 is just 9, or this 2 minus 1 is 19D. Or you can say A1 equals minus 19D. So this is one thing which you have found out. And now you have to find out if the value, that is the 20th term of AP. So the 20th term is A20 equals A1 plus n minus 1D, or this is A1 plus 20 minus 1D, A1 plus 19D. So what is this? A1 equals minus 19D. So you can substitute this here, minus 19D plus 19D, which is equal to 0. Therefore, A20 equals 0. This is the answer. The 20th term is equal to 0.